Michael Bruntz and Brian Christopherson with a Thursday edition of the Husker247 3-minute drill, Wisconsin week. Heard from head coach Matt Rhule a few minutes ago. Got some clarity on Tommi Hill's situation for the next 2 games and some other topics that we'll get into as well. But first off, where do things kind of stand with Tommi Hill and that nagging foot injury?
Yeah, Tommy's not going to play the next 2 games. He left open the possibility of bowl practices, and he's going to try to get ready for the Senior Bowl. But as you mentioned, that foot injury, he's never really gotten back from. And in fact, it's cost Nebraska in some pretty big situations. It hurt them on Saturday against USC on the big 30-yard pass play that set up the first touchdown. Other examples in games where, as Matt Rhule said, he's just playing at like half speed, 3/4 speed because of it. He's hurting himself, hurts the team. He wants to help the team, but at this point, the best thing for him to do is heal, and for Nebraska to look other directions.
Yeah, Matt Rhule said there's the potential for younger players to get out there in the secondary, kind of seeing how things go. In Los Angeles, USC had kind of been battling a flu bug that had been rolling through the team. Nebraska evidently brought that back from Los Angeles, so they've had guys in and out during practice this week. He wasn't prepared to rule anybody out because of the flu, but something to watch over the next 48 hours as we get closer to game time is if anybody has to deal with that, or if that affects who plays and rotations and whatnot. So, with Tommi Hill out, obviously Sierra Wright is a big piece there. Maybe you see Jeremiah Charles. We've seen Malcolm Hartzog. Marcus Buford's been in there as well. So a number of options, and maybe even some young players in the secondary as well. And for a group that needs to play better than they did against USC. This is going to be game 2 of Dana Holgerson's tenure as offensive coordinator. He talked a little bit about kind of how Holgerson's affected the team, I guess.
Yeah, I think fans and media saw how direct he was in his Tuesday press conference, and Rhule said he's as direct with the team. And I think the key point getting across to the guys that he's tried to do is it's not about the plays, it's about the players. You got to the play calls, that is. You got to go execute as a player and make a play when it's there to be made. And so I think everybody got a taste of that Tuesday when he talked about how perimeter blocking had basically been crap and they had to step it up, which they did against USC in that aspect. He talked about how the running backs have to hit the holes better, which they kind of did in the third quarter. And so if you're, glass Kool-Aid half full guy, you say, well, at least the things he's really been blunt about, you've seen some improvement. So let's see if they can do that and take that big step here against a pretty tough Wisconsin defense. Not as good as some Badger defenses we've seen in the past, but they're good against the pass and stuff like that. So this will be a big challenge.
Lots going on Saturday. Nebraska will try for win number 6 once again to get to the first bowl game since 2016. Also Senior Day, where you're going to have at least 30 players being honored before the game. It'll be fascinating to see who ends up in that group with the coming 105 roster limit next year. So keep it locked on Husker247 for all the latest from Nebraska and Wisconsin.